What's up, everybody? It's your boy D Lamar. You know what it is. We got another episode today. Wise from Shadows of Society, and he's gonna jump in a minute. I started the broadcast because basically Facebook wants you to start at like 10 minutes within 10 minutes of the starting time, or it'll time out. So anyway, we have Wise of SOS, Shadows of Society. We're going to wait a minute, see if he can jump into the broadcast. Just a little back history real quick. I worked with him a few years ago and actually hired him on a job that I was doing. And that job did not work out for him or for either of us. And so, I think that, being an artist, being a musician, we always, meet who we're supposed to meet, when we're supposed to meet them. So ultimately, we linked on a different level, on the music. So when I started my, when I really got into my Planet Axiom thing and I was really doing all of that, he was like one of the first person. I didn't even know he had a group, but he had like a whole rap group and everything, right? So I was like, let me put you on there. And I think we have him now. So I'm going to add him to the stream now. What's up, man?
What's good, bro? Man, sorry about that, man. It's technical difficulties.
It's all good.
I hopped on at like 450 something, and I was having those problems. So I was like, yo, let me see what's going on here. Like, I guess I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I got the tape on my camera and stuff. So I guess that must have messed my camera up.
Like, all right. It was like, all right, I ain't gonna work for you then, since you never used me. No, it's cool. Yeah. I was in a little backstory real quick, like about how, like we met and all that kind of stuff. Where we met first. So hold on 1 second. We already in the mix. I'm just plugging my laptop back in. I didn't realize I'm gonna die that quick. But anyway, so nice to have you on the show.
Man, nice to be here, bro.
Yeah. It's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was know we met. I didn't mention what the job was, not for any reasons, but we had worked together briefly, and I was just saying that we linked on a different level. That situation didn't work out for either of us in no form or fashion. I'll just put it out there. I hate it, and I believe you hated it too.
Me too.
Right. So,
man, but that was not the place.
Yeah, not it at all. Saying? But I was saying, but we linked on the music tip, and when I moved back up to, Northern California, I started, and this is just history for the people. Maybe you don't even remember, but I had started my my little Planet Axiom thing, had all of that going on. Right. And you was one of the first people that, I tapped in with to be like, hey, let me feature your music, like on my website to kind of, get a little buzz for you and your crew, and then with me and everything. So, it's real cool when stuff comes, like full circle, time passes. And, most recently you reached out and showed me some of your music, some new stuff. So, like, not that I had, I'd always, had you like in the back of my mind, just hoping that you were still working and still doing your thing or whatever. So it was good to hear, something new from you. I just got a little,
likewise,
thank you. I got a little refreshed, just now before the show, so y'all still doing it. I see you dropped something, February, and something like right before that too. So, 2 new singles, I guess. I mean,
we actually and then we just dropped some new music, like a few weeks ago.
Okay. Still there? But yeah, so no, I listened to it. I was definitely feeling it. I mean, it's really strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, the music is really strong. The chorus, just like the beats, like the flow is just super like on point. And that just makes me, like come to, I guess what my first question would be is, or not even a question, more like a statement. Like, there's really some talented people out here that are trying to get to that super high level of success. Look like we lost him real quick, but it's okay. I'm sure he'll tap back in. But for y'all, it's like we really have really talented people out there, and you guys know that that's one of the main reasons why I even started this show, was to highlight that, because I think we're all looking for that one thing, that one thing that's missing from the equation, from the ingredient list, from the masterpiece, from the whatever. Like, we're all looking for that one thing that will just put us over the top. And so that's what I hope to discover through this show. So while he's fixing his situation, I would definitely urge y'all to go to Spotify. Okay, he's back.
Man, my fault, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just not use that laptop.
No, cool. I'm going. I'm just going in. I got this. So I held you down. I was basically just saying, like, one of the main things, I was making a statement basically to say, like, listening to your music, and it's really strong. It's passionate. The flow is on point. Like, the beat is on point. The choruses are catchy, not in like a pop way, but like it's that real hip hop sound. And so I was just basically saying, like, that's why I wanted to start this show, is to like really shed whatever kind of light I can on real talented people. And we're all looking for that one little bit, that one ingredient, that one missing piece of the equation that gets us over the top. Now, you might actually feel a little different. You might feel like, nah, we right where we want to be. But speak on that.
Yo, honestly, bro, like we've been working, like, me and the crew talk about this like a lot. We've been talking about it a lot. Like, we've been doing this since 2010. So like 10 years at this point now, you know what I'm saying, since high school. And like this is a cool place that we in, but man, we definitely want to go higher than this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the only way to really cause great influence is to touch a bunch of different people, touch their heart, touch their ears, you know what I'm saying? Like, make them hear you. And I feel like we're doing a good job at like, when we in a place, like when we perform, we know people hear us, you know what I'm saying? Like, we definitely stand out. Like, we're most of the time one of the only groups that perform. And then if we aren't the only group, I know that we're gonna stand out wherever we are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's the thing about us. But yeah, we definitely aren't where we want to be yet. You know what I'm saying? Like we definitely aspire to be higher than we are now. Like, because I mean, right now it's like it's tight because we're getting like a couple thousand like plays now, like nowadays, especially with the last 3 releases. But man, like, we want to go higher. Like, man, it's nothing like being the artist that like 10 years down the line, like, you still rocking and still going. You know what I'm saying? Like, we hit our 10-year mark, but we're not where we want to be yet.
Still hungry. No, and that's what I felt, just listening to some of the stuff like right before. Because I mean, the track that you sent me, like, I think you sent me 2 tracks years ago. That was like a good minute ago. Them was cool too. And it's just like, that's why I always look for that progression in artists that I meet, because I'm like, I know that the way y'all even put together I think y'all had a video back then, and now y'all still making videos. And I'm just like, what is it? So, I mean, I would say, just stay hungry and just like keep on going, because 10 years, whatever, I think eventually you'll make it. And you said, we're saying like 10 years out of high school, or that's when y'all started, was 10 years ago?
Well, we started 10 years ago, like while we were in high school. I was in the 10th grade. Okay. Siders, he was in the 11th grade, and Jay was in the Jay was a senior that year. So like, that's when we all linked up. And at that point in time, it was a big crew. Like Loki was like that was the most people in the group at that time. It was 13 members in Shadows of Society at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? We really mobbed really hard at that point in time. Like, because we were those people in school that was, when it was a cipher, we were in the center, we were the focal point of that cipher. You know what I'm saying? like we were always spitting. Like in the morning time, it was a cipher. We were there. We were spitting.
Mm-hmm.
And during like nutrition, we were spitting. During lunchtime, we were spitting.
Yeah.
You know, and then like Mike the Poet, one of our mentors took heed of that, and he pretty much just started like organizing like these open mics during lunchtime in classrooms, and just so we can have a place to like, you know, cook up and make music, you know. So like I feel like doing that, like we honed our craft in a lot of ways, but then like we just kept on going to ciphers. We kept ciphering, and every open mic opportunity we had, we were going, you know. So
Right.
like
No,
that's
yeah,
that.
No, I was just gonna say, like, it shows. I think you guys definitely, you know, like have, you know, like the talent. And you know, I want to say, like, right now, like, I definitely wish y'all, you know, the best, like, with it. And I know you're gonna continue, but so next question, you know, this is the main, you know, main reason why I do the show. I want to know what got you into music. That's the first one. What motivated you to start music? Like, you could, it don't matter what it was when you was. If you say you was 2 years old and you felt something, no matter what got you to say, this is what I'm about to do.
Yo, so music has always been like a key component to my life. Like I would say like from how well I could start with a year. 1998. I remember that year very vividly for myself. I remember my dad would always listen to like Earth, Wind and Fire, Boys to Men, Badu. Who else was he listening to? He was listening to Sade a lot, Anita Baker. Like he was listening to a lot of that, and he was listening to neo soul at the time too, like D'Angelo and artists like that. So that was my early introduction to music. And then my parents divorced 2001, moved to LA. So before that, I was only listening to really a bunch of R&B, and then I would listen to hip hop, but it wasn't really hip hop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember like being a little kid watching all of that, and like different artists will hop on there. You know what I'm saying? Like the theme songs, and maybe you have the artist on there, and that was like dope to me. I was making sure I was in front of the TV, and then I was watching Apollo all the time.
Right.
So, but like hip hop didn't really start touching me, and like I didn't feel called to do hip hop until like 2001. I remember like I didn't know the song at the time, but every time when I first moved to LA, every time a car was driving by, they were bumping So Many Tears by Tupac.
Oh,
and like, man, I would hear that bass line, that doom 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 doom.
I'm hearing it in my head right now. I feel it.
Like, I would hear that every day, and that just gave me chills every single time I heard it. And then like I remember like my mom became a single parent at that time when my parents divorced. So my mom made sure I was in every activity, and then I ended up hanging out with my uncle and my cousins. And one of my cousins, he went by Evolution at the time, like he was spitting. And then my cousin, DJ Blackout, they had made a song. So those were like the first people I knew that rapped. And they made a song, and I remember hearing the song, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And I was a little kid, elementary school, like first, second grade at the time, and I just remember like, "Yo, this is so tight!" Like, man, and I know them, and they rapping, and then my uncle was producing all the time, so I was there, and music was everywhere, hip hop was everywhere, like, so that's when I first was like, "Yo, I love this culture. I love watching the music videos." I was envisioning myself being those artists, and then I was just like, you know what? I think I can do this. So then, like, I would just freestyle, but I would keep it to myself. I never was freestyling for anybody, but I was always freestyle. Like everywhere I went as a little kid, I was like freestyling, making up songs in my head, but didn't really like know exactly what I was doing. I was just like, you know, rapping all fast and stuff, and just like not making sense at all. But then it got like I was 9 years old, and I was in elementary school one day. Like I just remember being one of those kids that loved basketball, never got picked to play basketball. We trying to talk to girls, they was not feeling me. Like I was just like I felt like an outcast, you know, and I was cool, but I was like no one was picking me for nothing, man. So I was like, damn, man. And then I saw my homie King Leaf. He was getting all of that. Like he was spitting and they were feeling him. He like, you know what I'm saying? Like I saw the love he was getting. And then I was like, you know what? I can do this too. Cause I do this every single day. But I was shy about it. So I just one day like he was spitting and then like he had the Boost Mobile like phone at the time. And he had the instrumentals on the phone. So I remember he was playing like Lil Flip Game Over on there. And then I was like, and it was the beat. So I heard him, he spit. And then I just was like, I don't know, something woke up in me. And then I just decided, yo, I'm about to go over here and spit. So I just went and spit. And I spit like a hard freestyle. I wish I remembered it. But I just spit. And everybody was like, oh my God. Like that, you know, like when everybody just goes crazy. Like everybody was like, oh my God. Ivan is just, oh, what? Bro, people were running around, and I just remember like I finished it saying game over, and everybody just started running around the playground, and everybody was like, oh. So then after that, I was a rapper, man. Like it was like the transformation was instant because it was like this is who I am when I'm rapping. This is who I feel like. This is what I feel like. I feel way more confident. And I just feel like the person I'm supposed to be. You know, I'm getting the respect I feel like I deserve, you know, when I'm spitting. So after that, I was a rapper, like 9 years old. I've been rapping since 9 years old is what I always tell people. Because from that moment, I was a spitter. Like me and Khalifa was like working on raps every single day. And yeah, man, that was the beginning. And then after that, that school shut down. I just kept rapping though, you know. But I didn't write though. That's the only thing. I was just freestyling all the time, you know. And Leaf, he would show me like different like tidbits of how to write, but like really it was just like he would write verses because he knew how to write verse, chorus, bridge, pre-chorus. He knew songwriting very early on, you know what I'm saying? So like he showed me a little bit of that. And then I would say it wasn't until like high school I met my homie DC. And when I met him, I brought my notebook because I started writing, but it was still trash. Like I knew how to freestyle real good, but the like songwriting to putting a song together was not good for me at all. So then like DC was like, oh bro, like I showed him my raps and he was like, oh, this is tight, man. I like these, but yo, let me show you how to structure this. So he showed me how to structure the songs. He showed me how to adequately put my punchlines or like put them in the right place, how to set them up and everything. And then after that, I was writing. So then me and DC just started writing together, and we just started like cooking. My homie Welton was singing at the time, like, and then like pretty much we I just wanted to show these raps to the school. So like I met up with Seesaw, who's Ciders, and after that, I would say the rest is history. Because after I showed Ciders the rap, like he just was like, "Oh, what? Like this is tight. We gotta like link up and like develop this." So after that, every lunchtime, like we were just like, this is my ninth grade year, so 2009, 2008, 2009 high school. He like pretty much was like, "Yo, all right, we gotta have to do something with this." So we were just sitting in the lunch in a classroom every day, me, DC, Welton, and Chris, and we'll get beats from the homie King, not King, but he went by Renegade at the time. The homie Jalen, he go by Leaf at the now, but he would produce. He would send us with the beats. We would write to Ninth Wonder beats, Crisis beats, DJ Premier, like any like producer we can find their beats on YouTube or like bootleg they shit. We was pretty much writing to those, you know. So yeah, from there, that's when the crew started, and then from there we just been writing ever since. Like more and more people joined the group, and then like by 2010 we had like 13 members because everybody that was rapping at the school just wanted to be a part of the crew, you know. So it's just 3 people now.
I mean I'm loving that story just because it's like it shows like the real evolution in history of a real artist. And like I was actually having this conversation with some of my friends like this weekend actually, and we were talking about how a lot of like the newer music that comes out, and not even just hip hop, but like pop, whatever, R&B, what I don't get from them is that actual passion for the music.
Yeah.
Like it's cool, like you can listen to that and be like, oh, this bang, this knock, whatever, good melodies and everything. But when you see them in interviews, and I'm not gonna say it gets me mad, but it's kind of like, man, like what is going on when they're just like, oh, it started rapping like a year ago.
Yeah, that irritates me. I can't front, but I'm trying not to have that. They're like, oh.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like I want people to have the passion for it along with it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we all know it's much easier to make music than it was. Like you said, you had to find beats and stuff like that. Nowadays, people could just get some loops real quick, throw something together, and just come over it and make a melody, and it goes crazy, right? Even me, I'm not a producer at all. You know what I'm saying? I can hear, you know what I'm saying? I know a good beat, I know music and stuff like that. But even me recently, I got the free trial of Logic Pro and then found some cool little loops and then made an actual beat. And I'm like, I don't know how many different people might have used this, but I'm doing this right now. And I was happy, but at the same time, I had to be like, man, like I'm not going to really call myself a producer. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like a trial. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to just go jump out the window and be like, hey, I'm a producer now. Like I know how to do loops. You know what I'm saying? But that also comes from years of actually, like you said, me sitting in studios, me playing with instruments and trying to learn how to figure them out myself. It really didn't just happen in a day or a year, like we just, basically just saying. So, I love that story. Again, I love the evolution. So what was it like going from, like, you weren't necessarily an artist at the time, you were just putting your music together, but what did it feel like being a part of a team, like going from just a kid that did it alone to then having all of that support from the homies?
Yo, it's nothing like that. Like my bro Yodi always like clowns me. He says that I'm privileged to have like a group, like a team, because like when he cooks his music alone. But like for me, like it's like I have like a team of everybody. Like we all like writing. Like I'll write verse, write hook, and or like JL write verse, write hook, Chris will write verse, write hook. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll all write our verses though, but then like it's easier to write as a team. Like, but like now we're like we have consistently been working on like our own music as well while we're working with the group stuff. But like I do notice that like having a team has made like making music way easier. So when I'm like making my own music, I'm like having to get back into that rhythm of like damn, all right, I'm having to write like 2-3 verses now, you know what I'm saying, and then write the hook too. So it's like it's easy because it is second nature for me now at this point. But at the same time, I can't say that. Like I could say that when it's just a team, like it's so much more easier to cook, man, because it's like you vibing off of somebody else. Like all y'all are feeding off the energy in the room. The beats getting cooked up or the beats already made. You hear it, then y'all just start freestyling together. As opposed to when you by yourself, you hear the beat, it's the same thing, but then you start freestyling to yourself, and then it's like, all right, I'm writing, but it's not the same though. It's like if I have a punchline, I want to see if it sounds cool or not. I'm just gonna have to put it down if I'm doing it by myself, as opposed to like if I'm with the crew, I'm like, yo, how this sound? And I spit it, and then they be like, nah, you can do better than that. You know what I'm saying? Like when you by yourself, you have to like really just make sure you on point. And then when you show everybody the song is when it's like, all right, they can give you their opinion. But when you cooking together, it's like everybody can help each other out, you know?
No, I'm with that 100%. Like I've always, for the most part been solo. So where I can identify that with that is I tried to have, a rap crew back in the day. We called ourselves Inferno. It was like two older guys. They were like my best friend's brother's friends. But, again, like I said, when you, meet people, when y'all have that music thing going on, you can just feel it. You know what I'm saying? So we just knew, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you do this? Oh, look, let's hook up. So we called ourselves Inferno. We did like one song together, and we went to the park to just chill, like on the swings one time, just to like do the cypher real quick and freestyle and everything. And like it's still sharp in my head, like just how it felt, like you said, to get that, you know, that camaraderie, that, you know, that stamp of approval after you spit something, and then to say that was tight, I like that, or you know, you could do better, or no, we're not feeling that. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to take it to that level. And then another example I have is like, you know, sitting around writing with my cousins. You know what I'm saying? Because remember I was telling you, like, I have cousins down in Los Angeles too, and like I say, like they're just like amazing to me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I wish that, you know, they could have, because you know they're like 10 years younger than me too, so y'all probably around the same age. You know what I'm saying?
We're about the same age, more than likely.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like when they link up and they, you know, drop their stuff, I'm just like, man, like y'all need that one thing that's gonna get you there. And they do shows. You know what I'm saying? One of my cousins, he does shows and everything like that. So when we're all sitting around writing, it's that same feeling. You know what I'm saying? That you was just talking about. So, you know, again, the group, man, I love it. You know what I'm saying? So keep that up too. So what do you have as a solo artist though coming up?
Man, so I've been cooking up with like a bunch of new tracks, like almost every other week or so, or every week I'm cooking, like, and then if I'm at the house, I'm just like working on music too, like working on art. Like I've been like really just painting a lot now too, like. So I've just been like really just exploring myself as an artist in general, like music and painting, like it's the two things, like the two mediums that I've just kind of just like been doing. Like I when in every one of my notebooks since I started writing music, I'm always doodling and shit in my notebooks. You know, I'm always doodling in my notebooks. But then like recently, I would say like, well, not recently, but like 2-3 years ago, I started really just taking it serious, putting my stuff on canvas and everything, you know. So then that I'll start doing that. So when I'm not cooking music, I'm painting. But like it helps me though, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird to say, it's an exercise, like to express a different side of my mind, and then I'm able to like get that off, and then I'm like, cool. So then when I'm like cooking music, I'm just cooking music. It's no sketching or doodling in my notebook as well. It's like just straight up, I'm just cooking music.
Right.
But like right now, I wouldn't say I have I am working on a couple projects. I will say that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even say like a date or nothing like that, because it really is just we are just cooking. Like I've been linking up with my homie Shah. He produces. Like I've been linking with him a lot lately. Like we definitely are cooking up something, like a couple projects, I would say. Like we've been cooking. I have plans to work with some other producers as well. Of course, Siders. Jay been cooking up a lot of beats now too. Yeah, we honestly have been like all working on like group projects and solo projects. Like we do plan on like releasing some solo work soon, like at least a couple like EPs from each one of us as well to coincide with the group music, you know, because at the end of the day, it's like we have this thing that we always say that we've said since high school. When one of us make it, we all make it. So while we are working together as a group, we are working in and stretching ourselves out individually as well, just so we can get our foot in the doors, get in the doors with other people, and then, you know, we can bridge the gap for each other, you know?
Yeah.
So we've really been like cooking and doing that a lot. Like we'll link up like at least a good once or twice a week. And then we'll also be doing our own thing during the week as well. And then we all just like meet up, discuss what we've been doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we've been. I'm excited, man, because like all last year, like we've been like really just like grinding. And the year before that, like we did a lot of songs. So even like some of the songs that we released last year were songs that we had been sitting on, that we had like really planned out thoroughly. It was like, we're gonna release this month, we're gonna release this EP this month,
we're gonna take this time, we're gonna do a video for this, we're gonna do a video for that. We really are starting to get, I feel like, more structured in what we're doing. And I feel like as a result, that's why we starting to get the views and plays that we starting to get now, because we are putting everything out.
That's what I was gonna say. Like once you start like really getting, organized and staying consistent with, dropping stuff, it's like you may feel like, man, we dropping too much music, because that was gonna be my next thing is how do you feel about like just dropping. But I mean, we are in a different time. You know what I'm saying? We're just in a different time where you can just drop something and it's hot and then it's gone. It could be a day. You know what I'm saying? You get that first day, that buzz, and all your friends is on it, family on it, you got your social media on it, and then the next week it's just like where the next one?
Yeah, honestly, bro, like it's weird. I feel you on that. Like honestly, I believe in saturation, and I believe that it works low key. Mm-hmm. Like real talk, like the first people that I knew that was doing that in some kind of way was Odd Future. Like I saw they rise. Like, you know what I'm saying? I saw Tyler drop that Baxter video and how like provocative that was. Like, damn, this like me, like I grew up Christian, like, you know what I'm saying, believer, and I see this song and he's talking about like I'm Satan's son, low key. That was like, what the fuck? Me and DC were in the room like, whoa. But and I was like, let me play this again.
Yeah.
I downloaded that Bastard project and I legit, like, kid you not, slept with that project for like a month. Like that's all I was listening to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, and then I saw then Earl dropped. Then they had already dropped the Off Future Tape Volume 1. Mm-hmm. And then Damo dropped. Like, like a mellow hype drop. It was like, dang, they all dropping music. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're all doing this, and that's kind of the approach that we were taking to
a high level of talent too. It's not just like, obviously we know certain artists from that camp blew up more, but they're not, they're all talented though,
Facts. So they really are. They really are all talented. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, just releasing great music with visuals, that just clearly is the great formula to stand by. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even Russ did the same. Russ, people love him or hate him, but man, he got the game right. He knows exactly what he's doing. I remember in high school he was dropping songs under like his crew Diamond. And like some of those songs are what put him at the platinum level he's at now, because he was releasing music almost every week.
Yeah,
like he was releasing a song every week for like some years now. So he was bound to go platinum at some point because he's releasing so much music. Yep. And then even in current times, like Brockhampton, man, like it's crazy because like a group like Brockhampton knew what they were doing. They called their project Saturation. And they do a bunch of stuff. They had the formula down pack as well. And I feel like really like we've had that formula, but we weren't executing at a high level, like, or we weren't even executing really, like, because we had all these ideas and plans. But I feel like it was just so many people in the group at some point, and I feel like everyone may not have been in it like we were in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not even saying, because some people that aren't in the group now still do music to this day, and those are all my brothers. Yeah. But like, I feel like with the people that we have in the crew now, like, we're getting shit done. My fault for cursing, but we getting stuff done. You know what I'm saying? We getting it done now, like, and we know what we want. We know what we're doing this for. You know what I'm saying? And that's just to change the soundscape of hip hop. Like, we want our, you know how people like you, like I just saw something on Instagram, but I feel like I've lived by this, and I still continue to live by this. But like, work until your name become a type beat. That's legit what we working for. We working so that one day people can be like, yo, I want to make music like Shadows. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to make music like Wise. Like, I want to make music like Lamar. That's what we working for. You know what I'm saying? We not working so that to just be a carbon copy of another artist. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, some people do that, and big up to them, but like, I don't want to do that. I want to work and have my own sound, and I want to be able to be great enough for people to be like, man, like 20, 30 years down the line, be like, man, yo, what they did was was crazy. They had their moment and they still shining. You know what I'm saying? Like Drake, man. Like, oh,
yeah.
Drake is still going.
That's where, I mean, honestly, like me, I would love to have the career of a Drake, but at the same time, I was after I watched The Weeknd at the Super Bowl. I was like, you know what? I think part of my problem was I didn't really want anything. I didn't want to be that big. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always thrived just to have a core fan base, you know, and I always wanted to rock like a small stage somewhere where it was like more intimate, you know, people really, you know, felt me. And I think that maybe it wasn't a big problem, but I think it was an issue with how I tried to get to that level. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't thinking big enough. But when I saw The Weeknd at the Super Bowl with like all the dancers and just the different setups throughout the whole thing, I was like, all I wanted to do was do this in front of 100 people. And he doing it in front of millions. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, what was I thinking? You know what I'm saying? So I think that was one of my things. And I think another thing that kind of held me back was, you know, like you mentioned, videos. You know what I'm saying? I think like, because I'm an artist too. So I always visualized what I wanted my music to look like on the screen. But it's hard to make a video if you don't, you know what I'm saying, got the right equipment. Music is one, just getting the beat, and you know what I'm saying, but then actually having a studio is another thing, but then taking it to a whole nother level and saying, now let's put it on the screen. So those are some things that I feel like definitely held me back. What are some things that probably, you know, you felt like may have held you back, but
straight up, what held us back was so many people in the group, low key. And then beyond so many people in the group, like 2010, we were a crew. We started Shadows. By 2011, we combined our group with another dude, and that we became a big ass group called Mutant Academy, and then we became Mutant Gang. So it was like Shadows with all of our members, and then like this dude named Forrest, Nemesis, who's like, yo, a genius artist, man. Lalo, Micro One, who's a dope producer. Man, it was just a bunch of us, though. Like it was like a lot of us in one group. So when we were mob people, it would really feel like a gang. Like, so it was like the Mutant Gang name was fitting because we would just mob places and it would be a lot of us and all of us were talented. But I would say at that point, not even to like diss anyone, but like certain people in the group, and I feel like everyone that's watching this that knows the group and that I talked about in the group, they don't know what the problem was. But you know, ego was a big problem for some people, some person. And you know what I'm saying? And that legit, like, we were in that for a while, man. Like we were from 2011 all the way to 2015, I think I would say 2014. Yeah, all the way. So like 2011 to 2014, we were in Mutant Gang, and like that whole period, we were doing solo songs, but we weren't like focused on our vision. Like and when we got together in high school, we all knew what we wanted to do with this music. And I feel like when we joined Mutant Gang, it became not our vision, but one other person's vision, you know? And that unfortunately kind of just like deterred the music a little bit. And then when we left Mutant Gang, we were like, yo, we really have to recreate Shadows now because people just know us as Mutant Gang. People from high school may know Shadows of Society, but they don't know us. So we really have to like rebrand and start over now. You know what I'm saying? So it was a big risk by leaving that comfort zone of like of Mutant Gang to join to just be what we started off as in our Shadows, you know. And then when we got to that, then we started kind of getting in our bag. We dropped the Mothership project, and that took us only 3 days to make. Me, Jay, and Chris was in my room, and my brother Prince, P Rizzo at the time. Yeah, we were all in a room, in this room right here and just like legit cooked for 3 days. My mom went out of town to Hawaii, and we were just in the house making music like all day. Like they were over here, we were cooking up music. Chris would cook up beats. We would go on food runs. We'll come back, like a beat will be made or 2 beats will be made. Then we'll be like, ooh, eating food, put the food down, start writing songs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then the next go around, we did the God is Black I Am Too. And even when we were making that project, it was like a natural. Like we were cooking different music, but then it became so natural to go into our conscious, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then eventually while we were working on that, all of the police brutality that was going on already, but it just got worse low key. Yeah. And then we just felt like, yo, our people need something to like, you know, something to rise to, honestly. And we wanted to motivate our people. So then we did God is Black I Am Too. And then that project like etched another part of our sound. Then next go around we did Nosediving in the Fountain of Youth, you know, and that was us tapping more into ourselves, you know what I'm saying? I feel like with each project that we release, it's like showing off a different side of us, because we want to be, we really are, it's not even what we're trying to be, but we are versatile artists, you know, like we want to add different elements, you know, we want different elements to our sound as much as possible to make our own sound, you know, like so I forgot what the question was.
Nah, it's all good. I don't even remember what the question is. I like hearing that, you know, that you guys, you know, the evolution and how you guys really was putting everything together and everything. So what I was taking from that is, has the outside world like compared you guys to any other groups, and how does that make you feel? Like, because I know you are very diverse, and you guys do have different sounds, you know, across the landscape of the music that I've heard. You know what I'm saying? But you know, how does that make you feel being compared to other groups?
So, we were hearing a lot early on Our Future because we're a big collective. Then we heard early on Wu-Tang because we're a big collective.
That was the two.
Bro.
That I had in my head. no, because they're both amazing. I'm more of a Wu-Tang fan, but when I listen to Odd Future, my mind's been blown, you know, but I'm a little older. So, I mean, of course, you know, I'll gear more towards like the Wu-Tang, but when I saw them, you know, that Odd Future as a crew and the talent that was in that, I was like, man, like these kids really doing it. So, not to cut you off, but them was the two groups that I was going to say.
we also get a lot. So we got those two a lot early on. Then one group that we really get, even to this day, is Tribe Called Quest. We get Tribe Called Quest all the time, like from like old, like people that are like diehard old school hip hop fans to even like newer people, like younger people, like they compare us to like Tribe a lot. And I don't really take those offensively, like, you know what I'm saying, like, because those are great groups, but it's like, dang, I don't personally think we sound like none of them, but it's like, it's dope for people to even hear our music and compare us to like some goats, you know.
It is
like one that I've never heard that I just still to this day am so confused by is Jurassic 5, because like Jurassic 5's music is not like our music at all. Yeah. But you know, hey, like it's again another group that has a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's like that's what's up, man. Like I think being compared to other artists, I feel like, you know, if it depends on how it's said, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if you could tell somebody trying to diss you by saying you sound like blah blah blah, then you know it's a difference. But if it's just like, man, like y'all sound like this, you know, you can't really do nothing but really embrace it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's not like y'all biting. Even if y'all melodies sound the same or the beats, y'all got the different lyrics. Period. You know what I'm saying? And if the listener is really listening, then they know that y'all saying different stuff. And I think like that's one of you guys' strengths. Is obviously like the lyricism from what I've heard and the flow. Like one of my biggest things is when I listened to music when I was younger and then I grew up, I realized I was a beat listener. Like I was like the flow and the beat. You know what I'm saying? It's like I ain't know what none of these. I used to listen to Mobb Deep and Jay and Redman and Wu Tang, all of them, Grave Diggers, like all of that. I didn't know nothing that they was talking about. All I heard was them riding the beat. Yep. The pick. What is the pick, sickle, and the shovel?
Exactly. Grave Diggers, yo, that's comedy.
Oh, I'm on the Grave Diggers. I love the Grave Diggers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but I'm saying, like it was just how it was the animated style of rapping. Just like I always wanted to know how to do that. Oh, and I got to shout out Bone Thugs too. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like one of my biggest groups growing up. So it's like just riding that beat has always been, you know, amazing to me. But admittedly, as an artist, it's hard for me to do it. Like if I do a melody, if you turn a beat on right now, I could do a melody to it. You know, I can hum to it. I could get the flow. But as soon as I'm also a writer, so as soon as I pick up that pen or that pencil, it's like I want to say it this way, and it does not fit with the beat all the time. So I struggle with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like my brother always said, like, you know, because my brother, he raps too, and like he's like amazing too. So he always says, like, yo, raps be killing it, but you just got to get that flow right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I know. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's something about it. But, you know, that's one of the things that stood out, like, right when I was, you know, when I listened to y'all stuff is how you it goes and meshes well together. Y'all are good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it. You know?
Man, yeah, I appreciate it, bro. Like, honestly, like, it's funny that you said that like when you first hear a beat, the first thing you do is melody. Cause bro, honestly, for the longest, it was just our spit. But now, like, I would say for like the last 5 years, honestly, it's been melody for me. Like, that comes first. Melody will come first, and I'll spit. So it'll be like a combination of both. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, but like, man, melody is fun, man. I like harmonizing a lot. I feel like as I continue to do music too, like that's kind of what I'm starting to feel like I love doing. Like I love rapping because rapping is just it's second nature. But like putting together a good harmony, a good melody is that's tight, man. Like
and that's really the easiest part for me is getting that melody. But like I said, like I'm a writer, so a lot of times I write first. You know, most of the time this is my thing because again, like I was saying when I was younger, it was hard to get beats. I didn't know how you gonna get a beat because I didn't necessarily want to just get on the I didn't necessarily have the internet when I first started in high school. We didn't have the internet like that to just look up a beat. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have that until like my senior year when we started getting like BearShare and LimeWire and what was the original one?
LimeWire?
It was before LimeWire. The one that
was it Napster?
Napster, yeah. That was when we were first able to say, "Oh, let's get a beat off the internet." You know what I'm saying? But I always wanted original beats. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, it was like, man, I can't even get no beats. So then I was able to snatch some beats offline and do it that way. But I always, I write first, so I'll have notebooks of mad just rhymes. You know what I'm saying? And you spit them, and you know what I'm saying, and it sound tight. But then when it was time to get it on the beat, it was just like, this don't go. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't work. So actually, one of the people that just popped up in the room, he was on the show too, Third Eye Focus, Pip. He was one of the first people that showed me how to like structure a song. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you definitely need that early on, but I am stubborn too. So it's kind of like it was hard for me to break out of that. You know what I'm saying? Writing first. And then when I started getting beats, it was almost tough for me to write to the beat. You know what I'm saying? But still, over time you get it, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I think like my latest projects have been some of my best because I was able to take more time with it, you know what I'm saying, and actually practice and do that kind of stuff. So, I love it, man. Like I feel like this is a really good conversation. Like leading off, like ending it though, I want to know what is your main motivation that keeps you in the music with the, limited success that you've had. What makes you say, you know what? I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep on going. Like you get a few thousand plays on a song and you're like, that's good. but it's not like we said. It ain't Drake yet. It ain't The Weeknd yet.
It ain't Kanye.
Say, all right, let's make another one. Let's hit him with another one.
Man, it's the love for it, bro. Like honestly, like I feel like we wouldn't be doing this for as a unit 10 plus years, and I've been doing it since I was 9 years old. So dang, that's almost 20 years now of rapping. Like I love this though, you know what I'm saying? I really love doing it. Like I love putting together music. I love hearing the songs after the fact. I love freestyling. I just love music in general. Like I it's not even just hip hop that I love. I just love music, bro. Like it's nothing. I don't know if I could really do anything without music. Really, like music is just like, you know, it's like salvation in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? Like it's definitely like being there when no one else is there, and just, you know what I'm saying? I just love music, bro. Like yeah,
so,
man. Like
so what I'm getting from it, and I think it's the same thing how I feel is like that it's really not even a question of why I continue. You know, there's it's just because I really want to do this. I really like doing it. And I love doing it. There's no real I like that answer because that's really how I feel. It might be hard to answer because at the end of the day, the reason why you do it is because of love. You don't know how to stop. It's like you don't know how to, you know, stop breathing. Like even if I hold my breath for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I'm gonna eventually start breathing again. And that's the same way I feel about music, you know. So I feel like that's kind of like the same thing you're basically saying, you know. So you know, go ahead.
Honestly, too, bro, like we it's this vision, bro. Like it's a solid, real like vision that I have, and that I know that we have as a unit, and it's just like really just to push this culture forward. Like I'm personally happy about where music is at now. You know why? Because everyone sounds the same. Therefore, when people that sound different come into the room, you know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, and everyone that's a legend, it's people that sound like them, not the other way around. You know what I'm saying? Even if they may have started off sounding like other people, they have something special. Like Outkast with Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music, bro. They sound like typical Atlanta rappers at that time. You know what I'm saying? They had like their player, you know what I'm saying? But then by the time the next album came around, they were Outkast that we know. And then everything from there was just different, bro. Like Kanye is one of my biggest influences. I was watching 106 in Park when he first got on there, the debut, the Through the Wire video. You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye, that's one of my favorites, you know? And him, people sound like him. Like there's like I was listening to underground hip hop and mainstream hip hop growing up. So like I saw like, dang, he sound like all the underground rappers I like, but he's mainstream though. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that, bro. Like that to me is like what I want to do. I want to appeal to like both mainstream and the underground, because that's where I come from. I come from both worlds. So it's like I want to bridge the gaps and make sure everybody hears something that appeals to them. You know what I'm saying? Like just share my own stories and everything. Like I want to be able to like appeal to everybody, you know, because I listen to like a lot of stuff, and even as I listen to like mainstream artists now, at one point I was like, bro, I don't want to listen to that shit. And it's like, have you heard the art? Have you heard them though? Nah, but they whack. They mainstream. That's bullshit. Like when you really listen to the music, half of these artists are talking about something, but then there are a lot of artists that aren't talking about nothing. It's just like, you know, you just got to weed them out, but they all using the same sound. So when you come through with a different sound, like, you know what I'm saying, it's going to stand out when it's good too, you know?
That's how I felt about like the new stuff too. Is like you kind of have to pick and choose, because I know how much I love music. So, you know, I remember having like, you know, still have it, but you know, I remember growing up having a huge collection of like tapes, and then, you know, getting to the CDs and stuff. So for now, I'm like, man, if I listen to all of this new music, because more drops more frequently. So I'm like, if I listen to this Lil, that Lil, this Big, that Who, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have like too much to listen to. So it's like I appreciate one or two of them artists, and then just be like, this is who I'm rocking with. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I can't listen to everybody. You know, I watch like, you know, let's say Vlad TV or Breakfast Club, and I see the guests on there, and I'm like, another one, like, who is this? How is this person this big and famous that they're on these platforms, and I have not even heard one track from them? And I'm like, you know, at the same time, I'm like, I really don't want to, because I know next week is going to be another one that's that big for that next 5 to 6 months. And then all of a sudden it's going to just keep on recycling. But, you know, I think that's one thing I want to do is start listening to some of the music. I'll get on Spotify and I'm like, I'll get ready to search it and then be like, maybe next time. I'd rather listen to, you know, something that's already in a playlist. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I would definitely like urge y'all to just, you know, keep doing it, stay consistent, most definitely. And whatever, you know, big thing that's gonna happen for y'all, I feel like it's like definitely coming soon. You know what I'm saying? So just stay with it. Like, y'all are a real crew. I can tell you strong. You tell the same story that all of the big crews kind of tell. We started real big, and then, you know, we had to chop some leaves off or whatever. They went did their thing. We stayed right here, and then the three of y'all that's left will be that one that's just like the ones that take off. I'm not saying the other ones that left won't. It's just gonna be in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So it's kind of like, stay with that. And, you know, what else you got for me at the end? You know, we're gonna wrap it up, but what else you got?
Yeah, like we also got merch coming too. Okay. Like let me this hoodie right here, behind this hoodie, this shit right here. We have this color, we have pink, we have white, we have gray, we have shirts coming. We have like a bunch of new merch coming soon. Right now we're just kind of about to do a photo shoot and do that first before we release it, but you can expect this by like next month, honestly. Like by next month we have new merch coming. And then honestly too, anybody that love music, if you really put the work in, it's gonna show. Like, and if you plant the seed, no matter how long, it's gonna be a tree. Like, you know what I'm saying? We put the seed in the ground and you plant a tree, it starts off slow and it's a slow process, but eventually it's gonna be real solid and strong. And that's what we are. We a tree. Like, we here to stay forever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even if leaves fall off, a tree is still a tree nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? And we planted strong like 10 years ago and we still growing.
I love it. Okay.
So, thank you, man. I appreciate it, bro.
No, man. I mean, when we get off of this, you know what I'm saying? Definitely share it to all your people. You know, dude. Like, because I feel like this is a real good one. You know what I'm saying? We got a few more coming, and I think for the next one, you know, let's definitely get some more members. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. I was gonna say, like, next time, like, I really want to like do this again, but I want like all of us to be in the same place. Me and the crew to like be in the same place, and we do it like that, because I feel like they like, man, everyone in the group is interested, and I just want them to be like, you know, like have this opportunity as well to get a chance to chop it up with you and everything too. So yeah, let's do this again, bro.
We'll do it again. I think they like some of the videos, the other members, so I'm gonna follow them too. And we'll hook up in the next, within the next month, even the next few weeks.
Okay, for sure. Let's do that, bro.
All right.
All right, man. Peace, bro. Thank you.
No problem. All right, y'all. I think that was a good one. I mean, wow, like just hearing his story for me, definitely inspiring, makes me want to, start writing right now. Y'all know I get into the, the pop stuff. I get into, some R&B sometimes, but, definitely listen to the music made me want to, pick up the pen. So that definitely says a lot. So anyway, that's Wise of SOS. That's what the Instagram is, Shadows of Society, but Wise of SOS. Follow him right now. Make sure you share the link to this and everything with all the friends and family, all that good stuff. That was a good one. Hold the throne. We coming for it. All right. Peace.